So I ran the 100-meter dash, the 800-meter dash. I long jumped and high jumped and threw the shot put and became the Olympic champion of the pentathlon for the very first time in my career.
And I just have to say, I was up at 5 o'clock in the morning to leave my house to be at PLU for his 7:30 100-meter dash because I didn't want to miss it. So mom and dad and I were the three stooges on the sideline cheering him on. Yeah. So what else have you done? What other sports have you done in Special Olympics? You've run track a number of times.
I am now going into baseball.
Now you're doing baseball, and before that you did.
I've done football. I've done basketball. I've done track, soccer, bowling. And one of my goals in life is to bowl in all 50 states.
Always welcome in New York anytime he wants to go.
Excellent. Excellent. You just got an invitation to bowl in New York whenever you're ready. Now, wait a minute. You and your mom just did a road trip through the Midwest. In which states did you bowl in when you were on your last trip?
Colorado, Nebraska, Iowa, Oklahoma, Arkansas, Louisiana, Kansas, Missouri, and Texas.
Right? Mom kept texting me pictures of him outside these bowling alleys, you know? I'm like, man, you are put some miles on that rental car, right? All right, Mathew, anything else you want to say about your journey with me and being part of our Elks therapy program?
Thank you to everyone there. And it's been a real honor and a real pleasure working with everyone who has helped me from my young years to the top of my career and supporting me through my whole career.
Awesome.
Of Special Olympics and everything else.
Great. Great. Thank you, Mathew.
You're welcome.
So Mathew, how old are you now?
I am 22. I will be 23 this August.
Okay, so thank you, Mathew. I appreciate you sharing some of your story with us.
It's my pleasure.
Great. We're going to talk to your mom for a bit, okay? Thumbs up, thumbs up. So everyone, this is Mathew's mom, Shelly. And Shelly is a phenomenal parent, if I can say so, having worked with many. She's the only parent, and she knows I tell the story on her. She's the only parent who, when we first connected to talk about the Elks therapy program, she said, well, what's the next step? And I said, well, I'll probably, just come to, we'll set up a time. I'll come to your house and we'll do the initial paperwork and get things going. And she said, well, how can I take you to lunch? And I was like, what? You're going to take me to lunch? Right? So we met at a diner in town, and Shelly interviewed me for my position, right? Which was awesome, right? She's that protective and that guarded about who's coming to my house, who's going to know where I live, who's going to be with my son, right? All of that stuff. It was, I'm surprised more parents don't do it, right? But so that was my introduction to Shelly Flametis. And I was like, okay, this mom's got something going on and we're going to get after it, right? So Shelly, I'm going to stop talking because these guys hear me talk all the time. And I'm going to let you just talk about what this journey has been like for you and your family, and helping Mathew accomplish the amazing feats that he has to date. And we can't wait to see what he does next, right? We're all excited about that. So here you go, Shell.
Thank you. Hey, first of all, I want to say thank you to each and every one of you out there. I wish that I could have been there in person, and I honestly would have made the drive, but I'm taking my mom to Redmond tomorrow. We go on this vacation every year, so I wasn't able to come. But my main message is thank you. When Mathew was 2 years old, he and his brother both experienced the flu virus. And for some reason, Mathew got viral meningitis and encephalitis, and he ended up in a coma for 21 days. And they told us that we were not going to bring our son home. That's a very daunting position for any family to be in, because Mathew was born a neurotypical child. Everything, he hit every single step, and he excelled. He could ride a bicycle without training wheels. He was speaking in full sentences before 2 years old. The doctors were just amazed. And then 23 days later, he comes out of a coma with brain damage. And you don't know where that's going to leave you. And all of a sudden, everything in your life, everything you've known, everything that you've ever seen or experienced doesn't prepare you for what life is going to be now. So that was 20 years ago, 2 decades. And I'm a much stronger person today than I was two decades ago. I would be in tears back then, but it was because of people like yourselves, because of programs. Well, I don't know of any programs like yours. I mean, I know all the alphabet agencies in the state and in the feds. And let me tell you, I have been through all of them. I am tenacious, as Becky says. And I work as an advocate for my son. And the only people that I've ever ran into that make it easy is you guys. You're the only ones that have ever said, you know what? Your son comes first. You don't need 16 doctor's appointments. You don't need insurance. You don't need somebody to say, yes, you can. All we need to know is that there is a young person out there who needs help and that we can help them. And you dive in. And I was telling Becky last night, the interesting thing about that is that you don't know that person, but yet you dive in and you figure it out. The problem solving ability of your therapists is amazing, because Mathew's not, he doesn't have autism. He doesn't have some disease that's well studied. Mathew has brain damage from seizures, and the doctors couldn't tell you, and they still can't tell us, what his life is going to be or experience in further down the road, because the damage is in his brain. There's no journal or paper that anyone can follow. Becky had to come in and analyze the situation, figure out what worked, what didn't work, adjust, move on. You know, some things really worked really well, other things didn't. I remember we were doing letters with the pieces of wood, and I was so excited about that. And yeah, he wasn't having any of that. And so, you know, but then the connects, like she talks about, you know, building things and seeing things. Mathew is much better with visual types of things. So that's why they could build the connects with pictures and stuff. You know, our journey has been long, and some days were easy, some days were hard. But the thing that I always knew was that every week, not only an advocate for my son and somebody that was going to come help my son, but this person was going to come into my house and she was going to help me, and she was going to give me tools to carry on through the week, throughout the months, to help Mathew, to help him grow, to give him a better life, to give him something that now he can give back to other people. You know, one of the biggest things that I say about my son is every person has an opportunity to give back. And it doesn't matter what, you know, how smart or how pretty or anything that you are, you have a chance to give back in life, and you need to give back because so many people give to you. We want to give back to you a little bit of what you've given to us. And that, if that is just so that you know you make a difference, if that is just a thank you, if that's, you need us to come and do something, you know, volunteer, we will. because I know some of those other kids that Becky's worked with too, and I know their families. I live in a small community. The Elks therapy program makes a huge difference. It's not just my family, it's many other kids. And we're a small community. When you have a son or daughter that has special needs, you know, parents connect, and we are always trying to help find things for other parents. And this is the one program that I tell every single person I know, you've got to get in touch with the Elks. You've got to get in touch with the Elks. I don't know that they'll have spaces open, but if they have spaces open, it will be the most amazing thing that could ever happen to your kid. So, sorry, I don't know exactly know if anybody has questions and they want to ask specific questions. I'd be happy to answer them. But my main message to you is thank you, because you make a difference, a huge, huge difference. I have, I'm very lucky in the sense that I come from a family that, I mean, we had plenty of money and things that we could have helped our kids with, but we didn't have the resources here in this small area. There's no therapists and that type of thing. You guys bring something that I couldn't create for my son. And it's just, it's beyond amazing. Matthews did just win the pentathlon. And if anybody goes out to my Facebook page, I wrote something and I put some pictures up there of Mathew. Go look at that, because I hope that I communicated just in awe that I am of your program and the people that work for it. Anyway, since I can't see you, I don't know what kind of reception this is, but anyway, thank you very much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And you know, Mathew and I love you, love every one of you.
Yeah.
You've made a huge difference for us.
Awesome. Thank you, Shelley. Questions? Yes, come on up. Introducing.
Shelley and Matthew, how are you? My name is Bruce Lee, and I just wanted to let you know that I'm from New York State. I'm the national president of the Elks, and I've been sitting over the side here. Bear with me. Listening to this whole story. And I just wanted to let you know that for many years, I worked Special Olympics in New York State, and I did a lot of work with the kids. As a matter of fact, I used to be the master of ceremonies for the programs as the sporting events were going on. And, you know, I hope you make out with that baseball program, because that's really great and it's really tremendous. And what an honor it is for me to be here in Washington and to hear this story. It's a tremendously great story. And, you know, for 20 years now, Mathew, you've been growing and growing and growing and growing. And New York State, our major project is cerebral palsy. So I know exactly what's going on here in the state of Washington. But to be able to see Mathew in person and to be able to talk to him and be able to understand and hear what he's done during his developmental part of his life, it's just an honor and a pleasure for me as the national president to hear this in person. And I just wanted to come up and say thank you. Thank you for what you do, Shelley, and thank you for what you do, Matt, because of you two, bring strength to our hearts.
Thank you.
Thank
Yeah.
you, guys.
I'm going to present you something over Zoom, but I have, where's the camera here? Here it is. I have my national president Elks pin that I'm going to give to you, so the next time you see them. And Matt, when you compete in the Special Olympics, you can bring this with you and wear it on your jersey very proudly. How's that sound?
That sounds fantastic.
Thank you so much.
I select
More power to you, man. Keep up the great work.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Ow. Hey. And I think you even got a pen the Friday before last. Oh no, that was last Friday. Holy cow, this has been a busy week. From the Raymond Elks Lodge, right?
Still have it.
Right?
He says he still has
Oh,
it.
he's got it. He still got it. That's good. He's a keeper. This boy is a keeper of things. He has the coolest stuff at his house in his room. Matthew's man cave. That's what it says, right?
Yep.
Right?
Correct.
Are there questions for Shelley and Matthew from the audience?
What is it that you want to do in your future? Like to do next week?
Okay, so did you hear that?
What would Matthew
This
like
is
to do in the
Dave.
future?
This is Dave from Omak, Washington, and he wants to know from Matthew, what is it that you want to do next in your life?
What do you want to do?
What's on your bucket list?
Well, next on my list for life in general is to just, keep going with sports and, getting stronger and getting to know more people and making new friends and even just seeing new states in general. Well, and bowling in different states.
Awesome. Awesome. Yeah, so he's currently, well, he's almost to the end of his employment for this school year because he works at his local school district after hours helping with the janitorial staff. And he's been doing that.
Well, this was his second year. Yesterday was his last day.
He's already done.
Yeah, he's on summer break. And so today he went over and he helped a lady who has rheumatoid arthritis. So there's a lady in our community that her hands don't work real well. And so Matthew was weed eating for her today. In fact, I had to call him. I said, you've got to get up here. Come on, hurry up. Got to move. But he volunteers with this lady once a week, every week. And then now this summer, he'll be there for 3 days a week, helping her with yard work and just anything that she needs done. And then they play a lot of Sorry, Becky.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, and I know he tells me she can't lift more than 10 pounds. So
Right.
he's the muscle.
Yeah.
Right?
Right.
He's a strong man.
That's right.
That's
I
right.
still have my weights at my house.
Right. Awesome. Fantastic. Thank you so much for tuning in to the Elks Summer Convention in Pasco, Washington. So
Thank you. Thank you for having us. And just one more time, thank you all. You make a difference. Such a huge, huge difference.
awesome. Thanks, Shelley. Thanks, Matthew. Hey,
Thank
have,
you,
a great
guys.
have a great vacation.
For over 130 years, the Benevolent and Protective Order of Elks has been standing tall and supporting the communities across our state. Over $2 million is invested annually in the Elks Therapy Program for children, helping fill the gaps in our medical system one child at a time at no cost to the family's help. Visit discoverelks.com to learn more about your local lodge today. Join in on the community, friendship, and charitable works of the Elks. That's discoverelks.com.